The next control that we're going to create is a registration control, and it's going to be based on the previous control that we've just created. So I've got it all started already. I've created, instead of edit status, I've now created a control called sign up, and as you can see I've added a few controls to my sign up code. The first one is a link button that I've called sign up, and I've got a panel as well with all the details inside. I shall let you pause the video in a moment. I'm going to go to this screen though first of all, so you can see all the different parts of the panel and the link. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to move my mouse cursor or my caret along, so I can then move them all one underneath the other. So username, password, confirm password, email address. I'm not going to pretty it up just yet. I'm going to leave it a bit more rough and ready. My button sign up, I'm going to now change text to sign up. So if you need to look at the code, I'll leave the source on the screen for a few seconds. Now what we're going to do is pretty much the same as we did with the edit control. I've got another button for cancelling, so bn cancel. And this time on double click on the link, that's when I'm going to make my panel appear. And then double click on the cancel button, that's going to make it disappear again. And on first load up, I want to make sure that the panel doesn't appear. So first load up and the two items. Now the next thing we're going to do, which is a bit more useful, is we're going to add in our password character on password. So change it to password. Confirm password, and we're going to put in some validator controls as we did with login. So validator, we're going to add required field validator to the username, password and email address, and then for confirm password we're going to use a compare validator. Finally, we're going to use a regular expression validator for the email address to make sure you've typed in a valid email address. So I'm going to highlight all of these now and change each one of these to have a forecolor of red and a text of a star. So the first one is going to link to my text username. My next one text password. Confirm password, control to compare is text password, control to validate text confirm password, and then the required field control to validate next to email address is going to go to text email, but then this regular expression we need to do the validation expression, and we're going to search for an internet email address. Now the validation group on all of these, which I'm going to set by taking them all at the same time, it's going to be shared by the sign up button, and the validation group is going to be called sign up. So what does sign up do? Obviously it signs up a user. So in our user object, we need to have a user ID in a database file, so we can't use that one. But the login user is where we're going to create the account. Now at the moment the create account hasn't yet happened. So we've got a lot of code for creating an account on the system. This was all the dummy code that we put in earlier, but as yet it doesn't actually do anything. So what we need to do is, first of all, if we right click on create account on a system, go to the definition, we can actually make sure it's going to return a valid user. So let's go to data connector, and data connector that we're going to use needs to contain the database file. So I'll just copy it from further up. Now this time we're going to insert, so dc.dataInsert, and we're going to insert into our table login database. Let's get all the details up on that. There it is. So I'm going to keep that on the screen so I can just see it. And I'm going to say down here, insert into table login. I'm not going to insert into the user ID because that's automatically generated, but I need username, password and email. So username, pwd, email, values, and then the 3 values that are going to come through. And so username, password, and email. The next thing I need to do is get back the user ID for this user. So we're going to do a data scalar on this one. Select user underscore ID from table login where username equals our username. And that's what we're going to return. So we are able to now return the user ID after we've saved it in. That should be nice, easy and straightforward. But we need to obviously make sure that we're doing all the different things that we need to do, such as hashing the password, etc. So let's give it a go. Password that we're going to pass through is just the standard string. So the next thing we need to do is convert that to our hash password. The username and email address we need to make sure has no SQL injection characters, so we need to replace our single quotes with 2 single quotes next to each other. We don't need to do that with the hash password because the hash won't include a single quote in the actual string because of the way that hashes work. Obviously at the moment we're not checking if the username exists, if the email address exists, etc. So let's start going into our definitions here. So if user exists, well, we're going to need our connection to our database again. And then we say if this equals blank, that means username is not on the system. So if it returns a blank item, user ID wasn't found. Otherwise return true. So now, very, very quickly, we've re-encoded the system so that the placeholder code is now actually set to being actual code. We can do the same thing for email exists, email valid, password strong, etc. I'll give you this opportunity to try and work out the code for yourself for testing to see if the email address has already been used or not. But if you want to know the results, just take a look at the screen now. There's email exists for you. I'm going to leave email valid, password strong, send confirmation email from now. We're not going to worry about those items just at the moment. Let's build our code. And where are we actually going to put in our sign up code? Well, at the moment it's obviously a link that then will appear with more information and you click the sign up. So really it should go onto our main master page. And what we'll probably do is put it next to our login page just here. So I'm going to attach that to the side, grab sign up and stick it above. As you can see, you won't be able to see it because it's the same colour as the background pretty much. sign up one has now been added inside div ID of login. So within that login there is something there that says sign up. As we can't see it at the moment, let's change the colour to black. And hopefully now when we build it, it should be a bit more obvious. Still can't see it. Oh, because it's underneath the div login. Ah, okay. What we need to do then is, currently the problem is the header itself isn't big enough to show both bits. Let's just change our style sheet and make the header height 130 pixels. That wasn't part of the plan, but we'll give it a go anyway. There you go, you've now got the sign up control. How that will then appear, I don't know. Let's wait and see. So let's try it. Our sign up actually appears to the right. When I click it, I've got a problem with our controls validate property, so I've obviously forgotten to put something in there. So let's go back to our sign up page, and it's our regular expression one, which is that one, and I forgot to put in controls validate as being the email address. So let's give that a try again. And it appears to have crashed the web browser this time, so we'll try one more time. Here we go. So sign up now appears, and it's very, very messy. So maybe that's not the best place to put our sign up page. So on the main master control, maybe we should move it somewhere else. Well, how about our sign up goes outside of our div ID called login, so it's just within the header itself. Now it's at the top. Still the wrong size. Okay, let's create a new div. And move my close div tag to after the link. And then maybe we'll put some things in our sign up like we have for login. So start with just a font size of 10. No, still looking a bit big. And that would probably be because it hasn't saved. And I should have put sign up in as well. So sign up with a lowercase u. Put that in and save it. Give it another try. There we go. Now I'm going to bring that up. Everything all looks a bit messy. Maybe having everything on different lines wasn't the best idea. Maybe it'd be better all in one line. So my sign up control, get rid of all these BRs, which stand for line break. And that will just make it all in one line, make it nice and easy. So if we now look at the design, that looks much better. Sign up, and there's all the details, and I can cancel it to hide it again. So let's actually check our system works. What we're going to do is load up our database so we can see it as we go. There's our table login. We've got our one user at the moment called Chris. We're going to sign up Chris 2. Password for him is going to be password all lowercase. Confirm the password. Email address chris at another.com and sign up. It's worked according to the system, but we don't actually see anything on there that's telling us it's worked. So let's just refresh this screen to check to see if the page has worked. And it hasn't actually saved it into the database either. Let's cancel that and see what's going on. We're going into our login user code. Of course, there would be one slight minor thing that I've not yet done, which is actually attach the sign up button to anything. So we need to create a new connection to our login control. So in the same way as we created a new login user last time in our table login, go do the same thing again. So this time it's in sign up. USR. Of course it needs to know who we are. Contact circle code. USR create account, and then we're going to send it through the text username dot text, text password dot text, and text email dot text. Now if we remember, this actually returns an error message. Of type error message. So I can say error message user equals that. If user equals, oops, using a lowercase uppercase problem there. Error message dot OK. We need to tell the user everything's OK. Else if user equals email exists, tell them the email exists. Else if user equals user exists. Obviously we're not checking the other two because at the moment we've not put the code in for those. We're going to need somewhere to actually put the error message. So what we're going to do, add a label control, put a space between the label control and sign up. I'm going to set the for colour to red, call it LB error, and the text just blank, visible equal false straight away. And then if the email exists, LB error dot visible equals true, and set the text LB error dot text equals this email address already exists. Try resetting your password, which obviously they can't do at the moment because we haven't got a password reset system. The user exists. This username already exists. And then if everything's saved OK, we're actually going to hide the panel, use account created. You can now log in. pn signup.visible equals false. So we've now got the ability to see that the account's been created. Any errors are caught and they're actually then shown on the screen, and the sign up form disappears if the sign up was correct. So let's give it a try and see what happens. So sign up for Chris2, password all lowercase, password, just import the keys. Email address chris@another.com. Sign up. Account created, you can now log in. So we'll just check we can. Chris2. Password, log in, and now the profile ID is set to 2. And obviously we're logged in as ourselves, so we can edit our current status. At the moment there's no details about who I am, photo, because they need to be added as edit controls in the same way as the status was.